What is up, everybody? It's your boy Brian from American Auto, coming at you today with yet another video on something we've been working on. We've got the Harley up there, so yeah, we got stuff still to do to it. Do me a favor, make sure you're still subscribed and leave me a comment. This shadow banning thing is getting really ridiculous, like a lot. The wife and I just got back from vacation, and I was doing a fun little thing of where am I, trying to see if any of you guys might have knew where I was, figure it out, and maybe wanted to run out and meet us, but unfortunately YouTube didn't allow any of that to get out. So anyhow, but yeah, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, okay? Now, let's see what we can get stripped the rest of the way off this frame. Before we go too far here, we still have to get this rear knuckle off the rest of the way. Go ahead and get these adjusters backed all the way out on both sides. Moving on up, go ahead and get all these bolts out, and then moving on up, get this here out. This is ground strap, and get that tank knuckle off, get these rubbers off, that out, and just clean up both sides of it and get ready to start sanding it down, since I guess we're going to paint this frame. Guys, it looks like this thing's been worked on before, or is that original Harley weld? Because that does not match that and all that. Looks like it's been busted off of there before, so I don't know. But what's crazy is it's there, and then if you look up here, you can see all the grinding and stuff done up here. You still see some bubblage in there, so that it looks like they've cut this frame in half or something and pieced it back together. I'm not real sure, but it's okay. Actually, you know what? I'll bet you that's exactly what happened, because over here, let's see, reassigned identification number, Department of Revenue, State of Missouri. So, yeah. And we're going to pop that off of there, because we're going to keep this tag, but we're going to put the original number on here, right where that goes. And that tag will be held with the bike, so that way nothing can ever be said. But anyway, we got to get that off, that out. And somewhere on here, I seen a crack in the frame. I got to find it so I can touch it up and fix it. All right, peeps. So we have a couple different options here. Let me make sure that fits. Yep. Yep. And just for extra measure. Yep. All right. Now, overlook the wobbling camera here, but that's the only way I can get y'all in here this close. But first thing first, we're going to go ahead and drop some PB Blaster on both sides of the threads here. And I know if y'all are watching this, you know how to do this, but I'm still going to show you anyway. Now, leave it in the comments below. What's your favorite penetrant? You like PB Blaster? You like Deep Creep? You like that Creole or whatever it's called? Tell me what you like. Now, next step, we're going to go ahead, because I've already off camera tried to knock this loose and it wasn't cooperating, so we're going to put some heat to it. If this don't get it quite hot enough, I've got the other torch over there, but I think this will do it. This usually does pretty good, if the lighter will work. There it goes. Let's give it a shot. We got some movement. All right, let's try this. Oh, there we go. See, that didn't do that a minute ago either. Ah! All right, let's do it like this. There we go. Yeah, we're not after it to be glowing red. We're after it just to get good and hot, just to relieve the pressure on the metal. There we go. Yep, that came out easy on that one. Let's see if this one. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And guys, that's just how easy that works, doing it like that. Now, just to make it easier, we'll just go ahead and rock it out with the... Oh yeah, that's super easy there. But I've got to get that out. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm not 100% sure how that works. So let me get a towel and we'll figure it out. All right, so as I said, we gotta get this out. Well, I'll be dipped. Guys, I'm an idiot. Let me show you. With all that heat, I guess that worked loose because I actually tried to take that nut off a minute ago. Goo goo ga chew. Now we'll slip that back on there. And put that back on there. Yeah, see, I knew it wasn't gonna be too bad. I think it built a little rust in there after I pressure washed it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh boy, you know what that means. We're gonna have to fight that one. We also have to come up with some sort of way to really clean out this inner tube, because we're going back with a Springer style pogo seat on this bike. And I know that because I've already got the seat. Which, the back seat is hilarious. I cannot wait for you guys to see that. You're going to get a kick out of it. I want to know who's going to be riding on it. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Heat for the win again. All right, everybody. Nobody can ever say that I am not 110% real with you guys, okay? Shadow banned or not, I'll always be honest with you and I'll always tell you the truth. You know, when I make a mistake like I literally just did, and I'll show you what that mistake was, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna fix it. Up on top up here is that rubber guide there. That's the tank isolator, okay? Or maybe it's for the gauges to set into, but anyway, it's got a bolt hole in the top, like right there. But little did I know, it's not supposed to come off of there. Yeah. So, see that big gap or big chunk right there? And that little chunk there? I know when I put this on here, it'll only set one way. So my answer to it, and I know this stuff is great because this seals engine blocks in boats. An old timer actually showed me this. It's JB Weld's big brother, but it's called Marine Tex, okay? And it comes in a 2-part epoxy like this. Now you don't want to mix a whole bunch of it, right? But what I do know is when it comes to high heat, high vibration, engine blocks, yada yada, this stuff will not let go. So that's what we're going to put back on here. So I will show you how to do this. As I said, it's a 2-part. So, all right, you want to mix this equal, okay? And yes, I'm going to use a punch to do this because if you do it before it dries, then you can wipe it back up. Ooh, you can smell it. That's how you know it's some strong stuff. But we put just a small piece there. We're going to do the same thing with this one, right next to it. Like that, okay? Now, hang tight for just a second. Let me get the cap back on here. And then this part is just like JB Weld. You'll mix it till it turns gray. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Before I go any further, oh, there it is. Okay, whew. Now, we'll just take it and mix it like that. As I said, guys, nobody can ever say I'm not 100% real with you. And now, we're going to take it up here and put it on this. And I don't have time to flip it around and show you because the stuff is already activating. It does work fairly quick to get started. You will not be able to sand it. You won't be able to adjust it or anything. All right. And just like that, it's on there. We took a little bit that squished out the bottom there. Let me see. We took a little bit that squished out the bottom there, just kind of rolled it around, but it still has some overlap. It comes all the way over to there, but you can see that dark gray texture to it. That's exactly how you want it. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let that sit there overnight. Okay? We will let that sit there overnight. Now, just for good measure, I'm gonna go get some tape and tape it so it don't move. So, hang on, there you go. We'll let that sit there overnight. Now then, moving on, before I mess up anything else. And unfortunately, what happens now is that tape goes right across that badge I was just showing you. But it's okay. We will work it out. All right, everybody. It's been a very, very, very busy yet productive day. So as you can see, I've got it laying on the side because I had to prime the bottom side of the frame and get all that done. We'll move around here a little bit more and got the number in. So there we are. We are one step closer. Now, talking with the owner, we are going with gloss black on this frame. That's why I needed it to look good. So, that being said, that's that. We say we let the shop air out a little bit and we do some unboxing. Anybody interested in that? We got some stuff to show you. So we have a set of really nice forks here. We have a very nice, very nice Springer front end. Okay, very nice. This is a 4-inch longer than stock set of forks. Now then, let's see what's in this box here. And guys, let me show you the comparison just for those of you who don't remember. This is the forks that came off of it. So, there's that. Also, you got to remember, this Harley, when it came here, didn't have a front fender of any sorts. So, they wrapped it up good, didn't they? Oh boy, it was supposed to be unfinished. But, instead of being unfinished, they sent, let's see. Oh, never mind, it's just poly coated. Okay. Woo! Skirting. Yeah, there we go. A very nice, long front fender. Very nice. Or at least in my opinion it is. We have some stencils for the tank if we decide to use those. If being the key word there. We may use those, may not. I'm not real sure yet. Now, we have one Tombstone skull plastic Chinesium taillight. Yeah. Not a big fan of that. But we'll see. Now, remember I said we're going with the pogo style seat on this, so that way the suspension is directly under the seat. For that, we have a genuine, it might be genuine, alligator skin. Very nice, very nice alligator skin seat. Now, that's only for one month. Well, what about a passenger, you say? I got a passenger that wants to ride. I got a passenger. The whole purpose of riding a Harley with loud plates is so you don't have to have a passenger. And if you do, you don't want to hear them talking anyway. But in the event your passenger decides to come along, well, that was the head area of the Gator. I guess this is his butt. Here, let's open this up so y'all can see this better. Very nice, right? I don't know if you caught that. The way this seat mounts, there's no other hardware or anything with it. You get Squidward tentacles on the bottom. Will it work? I does not know. We gonna find out? Quite very possibly. But I do not know. And zip. Oh, this is grade A. It came with its own zip ties, guys. I don't know what it is yet, but it did come with its own zip ties and electrical tape. Look. Look at those cute little guys. Ooh, that's sticky all over. Ugh. All right, let's see what this is. This is kind of billet switch. I do not know. Is that your... I guess that's your on-off run start and everything. Huh, that's really neat actually. All in one. Okay, well, we will look into that a little bit more so. Let's put him back in here with him zip ties and him electrical tape. Next up we have so if the skull wasn't enough, we have a low profile LED taillight. Very nice. I actually do like that. That'll be real nice sitting right on the end of that rear fender, poking straight out, kind of chopper style, but not chopper style. Let's see here. We have a genuine replica Kickstarter pedal bolt kit. Okay, so this is the Kickstarter rod and it's chrome. We're not going to go into opening that, but it comes with its new bolts and everything. And this is from Taiwan. A little bit better than Chinesium. I do like the controls though. These are going to look pretty awesome. I do like those. I've always liked those. And I'm pretty sure that's what, yeah, that's exactly what that is. This is the left side, and the right side has the palm deal. So that way you can put the, you can cruise down that highway without having to actually hold the throttle back and your hand go numb. It actually has the palm thing where you can rest your palm on it like that. But I do like the spike. All right, next on the list, I gotta hustle this up a little bit because dinner's done. And wifey has been in there cooking. This is the mirrors. Yeah. Next up. Ooh, that little box is heavy. Oh, this is the raked fork cup kit. So this will give you some of the rake without having to actually cut the head off, re-angle it, and put it back. I'm not going to open this. This is going to be cool on this Harley. The daylighter headlight. Okay, we have tail light number 3. With, okay, that's a, yeah. This tail light number 3 right here goes with this bracket, like this. And it holds your license plate. Now, I'm not sure if he wants all 3 of these on there or not. I do like that one though. And then the rest, guys, is your license plate holders that are little skulls. And then here's the Kickstarter right here, and then all the foot pegs match this Kickstarter, okay? Little brass knuckles. I do like that a lot. So, there's that. And that concludes everything I've got in the box here. Last thing is the handlebars right here. Not real sure what they look like. So we only gonna open one side because I'm not gonna go through unwrapping the whole entire daggone thing. Oh boy. Straight bar, flat bottom. We will do more on this here very soon, but that's pretty awesome. So I think that with the mirrors and everything, plus that, I think that'll turn out pretty good. But that's all the stuff I have for right now, guys. So, I'll box all this back up, and I'll bring you back when we start test fitting stuff. All right, ladies and gents, it's the next day. I've been kind of busy this morning. You'll notice over here in the corner, there's no longer an air compressor because we moved it outside. Yep. So, y'all remember I had the one in that building there. Well, now I've got the one under that there. So, that being said, I don't have to listen to it in here anymore. Now, you know, last night before I got done, we went ahead and primed this frame. And the reasoning for that was because in the midst of all this, I am looking for any kind of stress cracks, damage, anything like that. Well, let me show you what I found. As I told you, this bike had a repurposed VIN number and all that. That's why we went through all that whole deal with the VIN number up there. And we're keeping that tag that's over there, because they have cut the whole back of the spike off. You can see it right there, and you can see the roughness in it the way they did it. All right. And I mean, you can just tell by the welds that they're not factory welds. This whole back end has been replaced. They did some welding here, they did some welding there, some there, and all that. And I mean, down here even is kind of globby, but it has stood the test of time till you get over here. Now, I realize that right there is not a large crack, but it's large enough. Now, I have a suspicion that the reason it hadn't broke any more than that is because of this plate being welded here, across here, and over to here. and it kind of triangulates the support. But we're going to touch that up and make sure that's okay, because we do not want that to finish cracking. Okay. With this being a hardtail like it is, it rides really rough. So I'm assuming that's probably why there were so many issues with these 70 shovel heads being chopped up like this, is because, I mean, if I had to venture a guess, I'd say that they rode so rough that people wound up wrecking them. I'm not real sure. I wasn't around in 70. But anyway, so we're going to touch that up, and we're going to touch these up and try and make that look a little bit better in there over here. And also, we need to touch this up some. It's welded on the outside, but I want it on the inside too. But on the bottom side down here, somewhere on one of these, it's got a bad hole in it there too. So I want to touch all those up. Then outside of that, guys, we're going to make this thing look like $1 million and get it ready for paint. So, and yes, I'm going back. I'm using Hi-Tech, the paint again, because Hi-Tech, guys, I don't know what it is about the stuff, but it just lays great, in my opinion. Now, there's probably painters out there that have, 10,000 different ways to tell you that there's a better paint. And I know for a fact there is. Omni's really good. House of Color. There's just boo-koodles of different paint companies. This is just my opinion. I like the Hi-Tech. And because we're going with just a gloss black on this frame, then there's nothing wrong with using the Hi-Tech. Okay? Okay. So, I'll get that touched up, and we'll bring you guys back in just a minute. Also, we went to Discount Automotive and Paint today and picked us up a few things. Got me a box of Scotch-Brite, some tack rags, some lint-free rags, and all that. So, yep. And then we'll get to test fitting some stuff here soon. So, let's get at it, guys. Everybody, you kind of got to overlook the sound in here because I've got that fan going, and there's another fan down there going, and that AC back there is going. So, I've got everything going at once, trying to keep it cool in here. And I've got the smell of metal in my nose. Whew, that's awful. And I'm standing under a light looking like a ghost. There I am. Anyway, so yeah, we've got the frame back together now as far as getting spots welded up and taken care of. All that's done, got it reprimed, and it's dry. So now we're going to grab us some of that red Scotch-Brite there, and we're going to go around this bike and knock all the high stuff down on the primer and get it ready, because there's a couple spots I want to put some filler in. Nothing major. Just a couple little low spots. It is what it is. We ain't trying to fill in no frame dents or nothing like that. Fortunately, there's none on here. This frame's actually in decent shape considering the whole back end's been cut off and re-welded. So, but yeah, we're going to get it all sanded down and get her ready to start mixing some paint here very, very, very soon. All right. It's been a day, guys. Been busy day. And I think I might have gotten some poison ivy. Anyway, so it's the end of the day. I'm tired. I'm fixing to go in. The wife and the baby just got home, so I'm going to go spend some time with them. Sorry, guys. I love all of y'all, but they're more important. But I am going to give you a recap on what we did manage to get done. I can make this blasted phone work right. Now, I'm not sure if this is the right way, wrong way, or the indifferent way. I don't know. But I mixed up some filler, that stranded stuff, the same stuff I used on the Challenger. And I just top coated this frame with it where it needed it. Okay? Because where this had been left out in the weather and the rear end put on and all that stuff, it had some divots in it that was going to look horrible in paint. So I went through everywhere that was low and raised it up. Now I haven't touched this yet. I'm still waiting on it to finish drying. It's still a little tacky. So that means I'll wait till tomorrow to finish this. And I will show you guys as I move along on it at how it turns out. But if you look right here, this is all nice and smooth, right? So the black paint's gonna look really good on that. But up here, it was all like when you're grinding metal. Well, I see a spot right here I've got to get. Prime example. But when you're grinding metal and you don't polish it and you just rough grind it like with 36 grit flapper disc, it leaves lines all in it. And that's what all this is. And like up here and right through here, that's what all that was. So I don't want to see that in the black paint when I put it on there. And I didn't stress too much on the inside of the frame because it's not going to get seen. But you can see, like if you look right in there, see all that? That's what the rest of the frame looked like. So everywhere there's filler, that's what it looked like. Okay? So we don't want that. And we're not stressing that little bit there, like say, inside. But as far as the outside, we pretty much got all of it coated. I might do this in here just to make, yeah, I will. I'll do that tomorrow. But, yeah. And this whole side here got it. Except for up here. This side was good and this side was not. But, anyway. And, like, the neck is rough textured. This is rough textured. This was actually really nice. There was one spot right there that needed to hit it, which you might be able to see that in there. So, you know, that's where we're at with it, guys. So I'll get on it tomorrow and start getting all this sanded down and making it nice and smooth. And once it's nice and smooth, then we will go ahead and start laying some black paint to it. Now, I put out a short earlier asking for help. The owner of this bike wants to do an electric over kickstart. I've seen it on other bikes, but I don't know where to find that. So if you have an idea or have any fathom of a thought of where to order that from, let me know. Send me a link. Email me, bellbryan175@gmail. You know, it's I know they make them, so I've just got to locate it. If any of y'all know where I can find that at, please let me know. So, anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. I will see you guys back after I drop the baby off tomorrow. All right, everybody, we back this the next day, and you can judge by the hands. Well, they don't look that bad right now. But anyway, I've been busy this morning. Working on getting rid of, well, you can't really see it, but I got some poison ivy yesterday, and that sucks. And I never was allergic to poison ivy until just a few years ago, and now it's like every summer I get poison ivy. So I don't know, maybe it's herpes or something. Just kidding. Anyway, we've been super busy on this bike. Let me show you. Last night I put some filler on it in some places and touched, you know, getting them bars looking nice and smooth. Well, I come in today and sanded it all down like so, and that's all the low spots in the metal, and yet there's still more. This whole front bar up here looks like somebody was hitting it with a hammer or something, or maybe there's a spot on the original forks that kept hitting every time the wheel would turn. But we got a couple low spots. We got a little low spot right there. I want to touch up right here on that weld a little bit. And I want to touch up a little bit right here. And then over here, we have a few spots, like right here needs to be brought up a hair. Right here needs to be brought up a hair. Right here needs to be straightened out a hair. And that's pretty much it to get it all completely level and ready for paint. So, we're going to go ahead and put some of, not the stranded stuff, we're going to put some glaze on it. Just because the glaze will go over that real well. Icing, glaze, whatever you want to call it. But that'll go over it and just fill in those few little spots. We'll let that dry. That should dry up fairly quick. I'll knock that down, and we'll go back over it with another coat of primer. And actually, yeah, we'll go over it with another coat of primer and get everything on there. And then it will be ready for some awesome black paint. So anyway, let's get after it. I'll bring you guys back in just a minute. All right, guys, we went ahead and got the glaze on there, and I left and went to Harbor Freight and back. And yeah, glaze is already dried up. Come around here to the front. So yeah, we'll knock that glaze down now. Get her all cleaned up and ready for some paint. Yep. Coming right on along, just a little bit at a time. Yep. So, giggity. Let's knock it out. All right, here we are next day. I worked on this quite a bit last night, and then I had to put my grill together, and this got put on hold. But here we are again. Went back over it again. Got all the low spots. Now she's smooth as can be. Now she is ready for some more primer. I really would have preferred to powder coat this, but with the amount of divots that was in this frame, all through here and all through here, with all that was in there, I really don't think, I think powder coat would have shown all that. See, there was divots right here that's gone now. That was the low spot. All over the place. But I did notice in my glaze, there's a couple little spots, like right here. Got a sand hole there. So I've got to go pick up some filler and get that in there. But we're going to get it painted, and I'll bring you guys back in just a second. We back. And I have been super busy working on this frame, getting all the little pivot pinholes and all this. I took a piece of advice from Dalton from Pole Barn Garage. Go check him out. But I noticed he uses a lot of this stuff. This is U-Pole glazing and spot putty. Because for some reason, every time I do any kind of body work, filler, or anything like that, I always tend to get pinholes in it. And there's a way you can mix some of that stuff and all that, and it'll get rid of the pinholes. Okay, but I didn't do that. So after the fact, you can take that stuff and go over your putty where the pinholes are and rub just a little bit in, let it dry, sand it down with 600 grit, and then you're ready to go. Now, that being said, she's slick. So it's still in primer. That's black primer. Matter of fact, it is Duplicolor's black primer. Not an endorsement to Duplicolor. They don't sponsor me. But anyway, we went with black primer because we're painting this frame completely black. So, anyway. So now she is slick as can be. And she is black. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So, I just got finished spraying this. We're going to let that ride until it dries and go from there. The next step, obviously, as good as this stuff lays, I think we may be able to maybe hit it with a little bit of Scotch-Brite. Maybe. Or I might be able to go direct to paint. So, we'll see what happens and go from there, yeah. I have to get the frame hanger into the paint booth once I get the paint booth up, so that way I can hang this up and paint the whole thing up in the air. But not a big deal, not a big deal. But there we are right at the moment, guys. She is black. Look how straight that frame line is. Look at there. No more dents and divots and all that crap. So when I'm done with this, the frame will be as much to look at as the rest of it, which normally you wouldn't put this much work into a frame. But on something like this, being a 70, it shows quite a bit of frame after the tank is on, the seat is on, and all that. Matter of fact, you're going to see a bunch of this up here, right up in this area, after it's done, because that's where the seat's going to ride at on the Springer setup. So, and then your bottom bars down here, all this you want to look good because that's visible to everybody. So that's why I'm putting this much effort into the frame, because the frame has to look just as good as the rest of the bike. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it all function, okay? It's going to look just as good under skirts as it is over. So anyway, so that's that for right now, guys. When it's time to paint it, I'll bring it back. As quick as it starts dry, or as quick as it gets dry and I can move it around and stuff, we're going to test fit them handlebars, see how they fit on there, make sure the wheels fit with the new handlebars, and make sure the fender fits with the handlebars and all that stuff. So we'll get to that here in just a few minutes. Okay? Hang tight. Here we are. I got the back wheel just placed on there. It's not right or anything. Hell, it don't even look good. But it's the original. So I got the back wheel on so we can get ready to test these forks. Yeah. So here we are. Like I say, the back wheel's just sitting on there, holding the frame up. Now we'll get the forks out of that box. We're going to slide those in, kind of do a test fit, make sure, you know, everything's going to jive right, and then we'll go from there. So hang on just a second. All right, guys, we got the forks test fitted on. Now, none of this is completely tight. It's tight up to where it's going to sit roughly. Come on, camera, focus. There we are. It's tight up to where it'll sit, but it's not all the way tightened. Plus, the frame is not painted at all. Y'all know that. It's just primer. We'll take care of that in a bit once it gets some humidity down. But anyway, that's them forks, guys, with the bearing cups. So it is extended out quite a bit, guys. The ones I took off of there set just about straight up and down like that. So that's quite a bit of rake on that. That is going to be so awesome. So awesome. All right. So let's slide a front wheel on there and the handlebars on next. All right, guys. Here we are, another instant where the thread chaser tools that I use right there comes in handy. Okay, that has about every size you can think of in national coarse thread, national fine thread, and metric, both in stud and nuts. And you even have a couple files. Now, that was a kit I bought off Amazon for like $40, $45, something like that. Wasn't super expensive. Anyway, the reason I recommend you have that in your shop is this example right here. So these handlebars came in that box. No paperwork to go with them. Now, I would like to put them handlebars on there. Problem is there's no risers, okay? So I'm like, okay, let's just grab the original Harley risers. Guess what? They bolt through the bottom. Well, if you look here, you cannot bolt that through the bottom. It goes straight through from the top. Okay? So now we have to order the 1.5 inch risers just to hold the handlebars. But even better, they didn't send no kind of bolts or anything, or even tell me what kind of threads those was, or how big they were, or anything. So I'm rummaging through that little kit over there, trying to find the right size. Well, goo 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 choo. There it is right there. That's the perfect size. No side wobble, nothing like that. Now, I thought initially it was coarse thread, so I went through all of them. And here, we'll put it in this one just to show you. It runs all the way down. Them threads are perfect. They're not all gacked up and everything because there's been nothing in there. But anyhow, my point is, you know, I was trying to figure out what thread pitch it was and all that so I know what I have to get. But it turns out it's a half, wait a minute. It's a half by 20 UNF, okay? That's, I don't know what the UNF actually stands for, but I know it's National Fine Thread. So I don't know if that's universal National Fine Thread, but either way, it means it's fine thread. Okay. So, and if you don't know, turn around, maybe you can see it a little bit better. There it is, where it says half by 20. What that means is it's 1/2 inch diameter, and 20 is the number of threads in an inch. Okay. So half by 20, okay? 1/2 inch diameter, 20 threads per inch, okay? Again, I always recommend, let me clean that off, but I always recommend using this tool if you don't know exactly what threads you're working with. So, I'm not sponsored by Amazon, so I can't give you no discount code. Now would be a good time for somebody at Amazon to hit me up and say, hey, give this code, we'll help you out, that kind of deal. Guys, I do a lot of shopping through Amazon, and apparently my customer does too, but we ain't gonna go into that. I love Amazon. I love the Jungle website. You know, I buy a bunch of stuff through them. My wife keeps them in business. The Amazon truck's here about every day. But that right there has been the absolute, positively best $40-some I have ever spent. But anyway, so that's where we're at. Now we're going to put the front wheel and the front fender on. And guess what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to use them bits again to see what size bolt holds the fender on. So, that's my recommendation, guys. Get you a set of these. Okay? They said, I think, well, no, they don't sell them at Harbor Freight because I tore Harbor Freight up trying to find a set first. But anyway, guys. Yep, that's where we're at. And that's the handlebars we're going to use. That's going to look so awesome on there. But we're just in a test fitting stage, guys. We're not putting the bike together yet. We're just test fitting everything. I'm going to put the front wheel and the fender on, and then all that'll come back apart, and we'll go from there. Hang tight. So as per usual, I didn't film an outro for this, so now I'm having to do it. But I'll just do a real quick recap and show you what we ended up with. Got the back wheel on. Of course, it's not completely engaged or anything. It still can move back and forth, but it does roll. I've got it setting up on the crate. Got the forks on with the front wheel on there. Of course, now because these forks are wider, we have to put a spacer in. But we made the factory Harley risers fit to hold these handlebars. This was the original plate across the Sportster, so we zipped it off right there, because of the everything being wider. And I'm not done with this yet by any means. I want to change out some bolts. Actually, he just messaged me and he actually ordered some different risers that are spikes. So we'll change those out. That'll be in the next video. But we did get the handlebars on. Got the front wheel on. Got the forks on. Guys, this setup is going to be so awesome, and she's going to sit so low and mean. But you'll get to see the rest of it. The fender going on, the tanks and all that stuff fitting, body working and all that in the next video. So please comment, like, and subscribe to the video. Go check out Pole Barn Garage. He's got some really awesome, useful paint tips. And definitely head over and check out Super Clean. I'm telling you guys, I could use other products to clean this stuff, but Super Clean is the one that does it the easiest and the best. Go check out their products. Go send them a message. Go check out their little clips and stuff over on Instagram at Super Clean, super easy, super fast. And that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much again for watching. And remember, if it don't challenge you, it don't change you. I will eventually tell you who said that. It wasn't mine. We're borrowing it. But yeah, other than that, guys, we'll see y'all next week. Have a good one.